NFL fans, welcome back to the J All Day Sports Show. We're going to break down the Packers and the Eagles. Go Bird! What a win yesterday, 34-29. I'm going to break down the game, give you guys my thoughts on both teams, the performances of the players, and where both of these teams go from here. I first want to talk about Jordan Love and the Packers. He did not play well yesterday. 17 for 34. 50% passing, 260 yards, sacked once, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. But the biggest thing about Jordan Love is he hurt. ESPN just released that it is believed that Jordan Love has an MCL sprain. So that probably puts him out for next week. I think they're at the Colts. Or they might be home. I'm not sure who's home, who's away in that game. But I'm pretty sure they're playing the Colts. Not good for the Packers. He could be out multiple weeks depending on the severity of that sprain. I don't know who's going to be the backup quarterback. Is it going to be Malik Willis? Do they bring in someone from the practice squad? Do they sign a guy like Ryan Tannehill? I'm not sure. Josh Jacobs played horrible in the first half, but he was great in the second half once the Eagles started getting tired. He finished 16 for 84 yards, no tutties. The receiving core for the Packers, I've been saying all along, very, very impressive. But the Eagles, especially Quinyon Mitchell, the rookie, played pretty well, right? No one had over 5 receptions for the Packers, which if you were going to tell me that pregame, I probably wouldn't have believed you, right? Jaden Reed, 4 for 138. He had a couple big plays. Romeo Doubs, 4 for 50. Tucker Kraft, 2 for 37. Jacobs, 2 for 20. Christian Watson, 3 for 13 and a tutty. Wicks, non-factor, 3 targets, no catches, right? The defense played okay. They didn't play great. They didn't play horrible. They had 2 big turnovers that really kept them in the game. Those 2 interceptions by Xavier McKinney and Jair Alexander, their superstars, really kept them in the game, guys. I thought rookies Javon Bullard played really, really well. 11 tackles, 7 solo. He looked really, really good, man, in my opinion. I also like what Edgerrin Cooper brought to the defense, too. 2 young guys who I think are going to be excellent players for the Green Bay Packers. It's going to be tough sledding for the Packers if they don't have Jordan Love moving forward, but we'll see how that situation plays out. Now, let's move on to my Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to start with Jaylen Herz. Not a good performance from Jaylen Herz. 20 for 34, 278, 2 tutties, 2 picks. And it's not that he threw 2 interceptions. It's how he threw the interceptions. Horrible decision making. Absolutely. There's no excuse for those interceptions he threw. Both over the middle of the field with guys who were covered by multiple defenders, both ending up in interceptions. The second one, more egregious than the first. You're up by 5 points. You're in field goal range. You got Jake Elliott, who's a great kicker. You need the points there, Jaylen Herz. Throw the ball out of the back of the end zone. Move on, kick the points, move up to 8. And then you can't lose the game. You can only get a tie if the team scores a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Absolutely pathetic. Just absolutely inexcusable decision-making on Jaylen Hurts' part. It's egregious. If I'm Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore, I am extremely upset about those turnovers. Minus those turnovers, he didn't play bad. Not bad, but those 2 turnovers turned a mediocre performance into a dreadful performance because that could have lost the Eagles the game, and it almost did. Jaylen Hurts needs to be better. He's got to protect the football better. 1 fumble, bang, clanged off his shoulder pads. That's on the center. The other one, pretty clean snap in my opinion. That's on Jaylen Hurts. 3 turnovers. But the rock star of the game, oh my God, Saquan Barkley. If you're a Giants fan, oh my God, the Giants are the worst organization of all time. And their GM on Hard Knocks be like, you want to be in the Wall of Fame or whatever the hell the Giants have. He wants to get paid. He doesn't care about the Giants Wall of Fame if they're losing. He wants to get paid or win, one or the other. If they're not going to win, he's got to get paid. With the Birds, he got paid, and he can win. 24 for 109, 2 tutties on the ground, 1 passing. Great catch. towards the corner of the end zone. Excellent catch. What was it, a 20-plus yard catch? You know, 18-yarder. Unbelievably impressive. He ran hard. He was quick through the holes. Great vision. Overall, excellent performance. The Eagles wide receivers were as advertised. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith combined for over 200 yards, over 12 catches, and a touchdown. Good luck, defensive coordinators, scheming for them. Jahad Dotson was a non-factor. Now let's talk about the offensive line a little bit. I thought they played pretty good. Lane Johnson had that play that he thought was dead where the guy got around and sacked Jaylen Herz. Mulata had one blown that was before a sack. But the interior line played pretty good. There was some, center malfunctions in the game, but that's going to take some time. But I really think the Eagles offense played pretty well, for a new scheme. And God, Kellen Moore's offense, what a breath of fresh air for the Philadelphia Eagles. I loved a lot of pre-snap motion on, I think it was like 70% of the plays. Excellent. Jaylen Herz making a lot of changes at the line of scrimmage. But oh my God, let's talk about that field for a minute, man. Oh my gosh. I don't see the NFL going back to Brazil anytime soon. It was a huge factor for both teams. Huge factor. Everyone's slipping everywhere. Saquon Barkley's first carry, he gets the ball and it's like a sniper shot him and he just falls right down. And I bet you Giants fans were like, look, Saquon sucks. Then he got 3 tutties after that. So, ha! But yeah, the field was an abomination. It was hard to watch. The referees, oh my God. There was like 18 penalties in the game or something like that. It gets hard to watch. A lot of them ticky-tack calls too for the most part. But let's move on to the defense. My stars of the game, Zach Bond, Reed Blankenship, Quinyon Mitchell. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, man, he had some blown coverages. Nakobe Dean, same thing, blown coverages, missed tackles. Avonte Maddox looks terrible. Cooper DeJean needs to be in the slot ASAP. Avonte Maddox, he's just too small. I don't know if the injuries have, hurt him, but, he doesn't look good. I'm really proud of Quinyon Mitchell, man. He had a very tough ask. He played pretty much all the snaps on defense. Going up against these wide receivers is a tough ask. Reed, Dobbs, Wicks, Watson. These guys are legit, super talented NFL wide receivers. He held his own. He had a couple blown coverages, but for the most part, he played physical. He didn't get fooled a lot. He had great tight coverage on the outside. He was physical in the run game. Very impressive performance from the number 1 pick, Quinyon Mitchell. Super proud of him. Reed Blankenship, man. He's a very unheralded guy. He doesn't get the credit. The Eagles need to pay him for a long-term deal. He's only on a 1-year deal, I'm pretty sure. I think he looked pretty good, man. That pick really changed the course of the game. Great play. And Zach Bond had a game. He's going to be in the Eagles' middle linebacker. I don't care who the other guy is. It's him and Devin White. Nakobe Dean, I don't know, man. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I wasn't too impressed with Nolan Smith either. They didn't get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Jalen Carter is amazing. He's tough to deal with. But the other guys were pretty much non-factors, man. Sweat, 1 tackle. Nolan Smith, 2 tackles. I don't know, man. Bryce Huff was a non-factor. Milton Williams, non-factor. The Eagles' pass rush was a concern. Brandon Graham, pretty much a non-factor. I don't know. I need to see more from the front 7 of the Philadelphia Eagles, not named Zach Bond. 15 tackles all over the field, 2 sacks. Zach Bond, great game, brother. Keep it up. Finally, can we get an Eagles linebacker that actually play? That he can actually play. Super impressive performance. Overall grade for the Eagles, I'm going C+, maybe a B- in that range. Jaylen Herz, 2 terrible picks that could have lost the Eagles the game. They still gave up 400 yards of total offense, guys. 400 yards. They gave up 29 points. They were strong in the red zone. The Eagles' offense put the defense in bad situations. The Eagles got tired in the second half. I give them a B+ in the first half. Probably C in the second half. That's where I go. Overall, B-, C grade. I'll give them the B- because they got the dub. The dubs are more important. Jaylen Herz, you got to be better with the football, man. Got to be better with the football. I'm hoping Jordan Love is going to be okay. MCL sprain, probably 3 weeks, guys. Maybe 4 weeks, depending on how bad it is. Not great for the Packers. The Eagles got the Falcons on Monday night. They get an extra day to rest up. A few extra days, actually. So that's good. Saquon Barkley ran the ball hard. Kenny Gainwell, man, he showed his value in that game, catching the ball out of the backfield. Very valuable guy. I like what the Eagles are doing on offense. Kellen Moore schemed up good. Vic Fangio looked like he actually knew how to coach a defense. You know what I mean? Called pretty good plays. The talent's still a little lackluster for me. I would like to see Cooper DeJean start at the slot next week. And bloop, Avonte Maddox. See you later. Front seven's got to figure some stuff out besides Zach Bond. We need more pressure on the quarterback because the Green Bay Packers offensive line is slightly above mediocre. They're not great. But next week, the Atlanta Falcons offensive line is ridiculously good. So they need to figure something out because they didn't get a lot of pressure rushing forward. They might need to mix in a few more blitzes. We'll see what Fangio does next week. Great game. Eagles win 34-29. Like and subscribe.